Hey everyone, welcome back to Apollo Art Analysis. This episode, to be studying a piece by the digital artist SurrealSerpentine. And in this episode, we're going to be looking at these incredible contrasted colors here. And we're also going to explore what it means to kill your masters. So let's jump right into it. So whenever you first see this work, we're really struck by this compositional clash between two different contrasted forces here. Our first impression is likely one of shock or awe as we just stand before the stunning sight before us here. And so notice, of course, the choice to place most of these elements in center certainly makes them hard to miss, right? We see this, of course, accented through multiple variants of contrast as well, from our subject on the left side to our subject, kind of mangled subject on the right. You're just not going to miss it here. And so we look at colors within this work. We really see 2/3 of a tetratic color scheme. And what do we mean by that? Well, red and blue, they are going to contrast each other. I typically refer to them as complementary, but they do contrast each other just like a complementary color scheme. It really points to the symbolic nature of the work at hand as well. Another thing you may notice is the impact of texture. We see this quite clearly, right? We see this, it's rather rough, but it also gives a vivid visual energy as well. All of which, of course, really point to the symbolic clash happening within this composition. And so we see visual energy across his work from light, form, and texture quite clearly. These all really work together to immerse us within the scene at hand, but also awaken us to the symbolic content of this piece as well. And so we see the subject appears as a kind of shrouded or even ghastly figure, but regardless of that, he appears to kind of strike forth with a pure determination, which is quite certain as well. And so we see, our subject appears to be holding this blade or this javelin of light. It's hard to say exactly what that is, but when we look at both the blade and the presence of light, those both point to the presence of transformation. What do we mean by that? Well, the blade, of course, it is a symbol which cuts away, and the presence of light is something which uncovers. So in both instances, there is the act of transformation, and all of that is being directed towards this rather mangled figure here. And so I think that's incredibly important within the work at hand. And you could draw so many different metaphors here. The title of this work is Kill Your Masters. So, what does it mean to kill your masters? You may ask yourself that question. Well, everything from bad habits to generational trauma. There's even no shortage of nefarious puppeteers who are willing to kind of chain and hold back your true will. So ask yourself, how will you break the chains that bind you? It's an incredibly important question to ask, and something that may even come up multiple times throughout your life. So this is an absolutely stunning piece. There is no doubt about that. Everything from the impact of texture to this vivid, vibrant light, especially that javelin right in the center, to this ill-defined, this ghastly subject that is just being killed by this shrouded subject here. It's absolutely stunning, and the symbolism is bar and second to none. So the work before us is actually part of I believe a 6-part series, if I'm not mistaken, called Age of Serpentine. That's going to be available on the super rare art market within the Ethereum blockchain. So if you want to support this artist directly, it's going to be the best place to do so. And so the result of this work is photo manipulation. So there's many really different ways to approach that, and we see that quite clearly, kind of the stretching of our subject, and even a grainy quality of this as well, but it's incredibly high resolution. I believe the original file for this was multiple megabytes, so there's no doubt this is a very detailed piece, both symbolically and literally as well. So yeah, I really hope y'all enjoyed today. We talked about so many different things, from the impact of visual energy to the impact of the symbolism within the work at hand, breaking your chains, to the symbol of the blade, the symbol of light, two very important symbols which play quite definitively within this display. So I really hope y'all enjoyed today. If y'all enjoyed this episode, go check out the original artist SurrealSerpentine, doing some amazing stuff and always creating and pushing the boundaries into the next work. I really hope y'all enjoyed today. My name is Apollo. This was Apollo Art Analysis, and I'll see y'all on the next episode. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you'd like to support our work directly, please check out our Apollo community tokens. Apollo Art Exchange is an ecosystem of art appreciation which elevates artists each and every day. Thanks for listening.